Good morning. We're Friday again. End of the week. We managed to get through the week, which is good. Wow, what a nice day it was yesterday. So, like warm, but also cool and breezy. Just really nice weather. I hope today is similar. I'm trying to really appreciate these days because I know come August we're going to be wishing we were still having these days. So I was supposed to get fence panels and posts delivered yesterday. I don't know. They never got here. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to track that down today. That's how it is. But I did get my plants hanging. I put some hooks and chain on the front porch to hang plants, and I got those done. So that was something that's been kind of looming over me. So that was good. Good morning, Susan and Dora and Ruth. So yeah, getting some stuff done and trying not to be too hard on myself about all of this. It is, I think it's very easy to lose motivation when things are. So this is one of the things that I've noticed about the whole sort of pandemic situation and things not being as scheduled as they normally are, with a lot more free time, is that it's hard to get things done that way, right? Time just kind of passes when we aren't keeping track of it, when we aren't. It's very easy to sort of put things off for the next day because there's no urgency, right? That you don't have anything else planned for the next day. So why not just do it then? That is right. We know that's not the right, we're not going to get anything done that way, but understand that that is a common thing and that it's not something, wrong with you. It's just the nature of the situation right now. So trying to kind of get out of that rut, fight that inertia, and get some stuff done is good. And if you're not doing that, if you're not getting that happening, see what you can do, in one step, just one step at a time. As we know, with yoga, right? It's the little things that we do on a daily basis, and there's no benefit to getting angry with yourself or having negative feelings about things, right? We know this, that our feelings and the things that we attach are what make situations good or bad. In any given circumstance, it could be good or bad. I will tell you, I want to tell you too. So maybe it was last week or something. I had a wasp in the yoga room here. I almost called this a studio. This isn't a studio. This is a yoga room. And it was kind of doing its thing and flying around. It landed here and I covered it. And then I was able to put it outside. So since then, since my triumphant wasp, saving, I have been presented with 2 more opportunities to see what I would do. this is what happens. So I felt so good about that. Wow, I'm so awesome that I didn't just freak out and kill that wasp. So um, the other one was one that just kind of appeared um, one time after class on the keyboard, right? So it wasn't there when we started class, but by the end of class, it was there. And honestly, I don't think it's anything supernatural. I think it's because the laptop creates heat. And right now we're going through some time where it's warm during the day, but it gets quite cold at night. So these little guys are coming in to try to find some heat. Um, I also handled that one pretty coolly. Um, he was pretty much dead already, sort of living on the sitting on the keyboard, but I put him outside. And then last night I was going to have a shower late at night, and I did. And when I got out and picked up my towel, there was a giant hornet in my towel. What kind of thing is that? It was very late, past midnight, and I got to tell you, I killed the hornet because it was a big hornet, and um, I was not about to take it outside at that time of night, being a naked person right out of the shower. So I have my limits, as we all do, right? And sometimes you are going to be taught those limits. And that's okay, right? It's okay to uh, not always be able to react in a way that is peaceful and calm. Um, but I would like to talk about that just briefly, this idea that when we can meet situations with a peace and calm, so a gentleness to our nature, things will generally go better, right? So when we have the force of a situation and we're meeting that with our own force of anger or frustration or even, strong determination, right? You're bumping up against that situation. There is a force and an opposite force working. And we often create problems, or problems arise that maybe would not have if we had approached the situation in a different way. So think of that strong resolve. Keep that inside. You don't have to share that with everybody. When we approach a situation, having a gentle nature, going at things in a soft way, in a way that is approachable and open, um, is going to get better results. You are not going to um, start your own problem, right? You will perhaps be able to look at things with a little less ego and a little more compassion. Um, you may see a solution before you even get into conflict. You may be willing to make a compromise that suits everybody. Um, you may see a way around or a new path if your path is blocked. But as with anger, this sort of hard headed determination frequently blinds us to the other options available. Um, we are entrenched in our own space, and um, we get very invested in that anger or that righteous indignation, rather than we want to be right, right? We want to be deemed right rather than complete the task, right? So, in truth, think about when you're having difficulties in your life, what is the goal? Is the goal to make yourself look like the injured party? I hope not. Or is the goal to actually achieve what it is you want to do? Think carefully, because frequently one goal has slipped into another before we even know it. So if your goal is to achieve things, and I know it is, there is no, you don't get a gold star for being hard headed. You don't get brownie points for trying to sort of wear people down or force them to do something that is against what they need. Um, the secret, really, to sort of peaceful coexistence with your people around you, your surroundings, is to find a solution that meets your goal, but also achieves something for the other people, right? So a negotiation, a compromise is about each person getting something rather than one person taking and the other person losing. Um, that's not, sometimes that is how it works out, right? At least short term, it may seem that way. Um, but ideally, we're framing it in sort of a longer version. That you can see how that would not be sustainable, right? Um, that's not what we're going for. We're going for a solution where everybody, if they don't, at least if they don't win, they don't walk away sad. So, gentle, keep a gentle nature. Um, and you can see how this is in alignment with our yoga goals, right? It is compassion. It is ahimsa, right? Ahimsa is non-harming. Um, when we force people to do something against their best interest, against their needs, because we think it's something we need, we are harming. Right? Um, there are better ways. There are other ways. Um, they may take a little longer and they may take a little more effort, but that's what we're working for, right? um, Nobody said following the yamas and niyamas would be easy, right? My class is gentle yoga, but it's not easy yoga. Um, the gentleness that we treat ourselves with is what we can treat with others. And if you find that you're having trouble um, being kind to yourself, take a look at how you treat other people. You may be surprised that you're not doing things as nicely as you think you are, and vice versa, right? If you can't treat other people nicely, maybe you need to look at how you treat yourself. Maybe um, your interpretation of what is kind is actually not, and frequently, depending on our experience, we may have kind of a skewed view of what is kind or what is gentle, right? But I would say, right, as this is, ahimsa is like sort of the umbrella of the yoga yamas and niyamas. Gentle behavior with others can be our umbrella as well. Um, it's the start, right? If we don't start with that, how can we do any of the others? Okay, so let's move around a little bit. Um, I was working up over my head yesterday, so my shoulders are tight. So I hope that I don't encounter any more wasps inside my house. If they're outside, that's fine, but I don't want them inside. They can stay outside. That would make me happier. The other thing we have a lot of is carpenter bees, which I know are not a problem, but they are kind of a nuisance. So I've been looking up. There's apparently some. You can get a paper bag or like a gray plastic bag and fill it up, puff it up with newspaper or something, and hang it, and it looks like a wasp's nest, and which then I guess spooks. I don't know why the carpenter bees are afraid of, but I guess they are. So it spooks them, and they will leave. So I'm going to try that because they're just buzzing all over the place. Okay, so let's sit up tall. Shoulders back. And then drop the head. Moving around. Big circle. One way and then the other. Back to center, lean forward, and move around with the body. One way and the other. Come on, back up. Arms wide. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. We're gazing up. Then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. Lower. Once more. Lifting up. And lower down. Let's lift the shoulders. Roll back. One way and the other. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind. Sit tall, take a breath, and twist. Back to center, switch. And back to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Sit tall, lean forward. Come on back up. Let's lift the knees, catch a hold of the toes, lean back a little. Find your balance, and then some extension. Bend the knees, extend the legs. Let's point and flex the feet. Rotate. One way and the other. Bring the arms overhead, take a deep breath, fold forward. And then come on back up. Let's sit in child's pose. And then back up. Let's swing the right leg around. Arms up overhead. And then hands to center. Take a breath. And a twist. Pulling that right shoulder back. Back to center. Right hand down by the foot. Left arm lifts. And then both hands down. We're going to kind of lean into this kind of mini lizard here. Then walk the hands back. We're straightening out this leg. And then just swing that foot around and back into child's pose. Maybe knees a little wider this time. And then back up in our tabletop, and then swing left leg around, arms up overhead, hands to center, take a breath and a twist. Back to center, left hand down by the foot, right arm lifts. And then both hands down. Walk your hands back and folding over the left leg. Set the foot down, swing it around, back to child's pose. Maybe stack the fists and rest the forehead. And then back up. Tabletop, let's walk the hands out a little bit, and then we're lowering down. Take a breath or two to just get kind of settled here. And then we're going to keep the hands where they are for Cobra. Palms resting about chest height, tops of the feet. We're lying on the mat. And then we're just going to lift up head and chest. Maybe hover the hands. And lower down, head turns right. Bring the head back to center. And we're going to leave the arms where they are, but flip the palms. And then lifting up, head and chest, arms and legs. And lower down, head turns left. Bring your head back to center. And we're going to bring the arms out in front, rolling up on one of your hips, one of the sides. I'm on the left side, but you can be on whichever side you want. We're going to bend the top knee. And you can grab a hold, extend the leg, and hold wherever you can. Maybe catch the toe, if you can, or the ankle, whatever feels possible today. Just going to balance here and breathe. And if you want an extra challenge here, you can work to kind of bring this leg forward, right? You can feel how that changes your balance. And you can kind of play with that a little. You're not going to get too far, right? Because there's too much. We start getting too much weight in the front, but it's kind of challenging. And then release. We're going to roll over onto the other side. And then again, Then set the leg back down. We're going to scoot back over onto the mat if you're not there anymore. Get yourself set up here on your back. And then right ankle on the left knee, working into your supine pigeon. Keeping both feet flexed is a good idea. It engages the muscles in the legs, which is good to keep the kneecap stable. Setting back down, let's switch legs. And then both feet back down to the mat. Take a couple of breaths. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Arms to a T or goalpost arms, and then both knees move right, gaze left. Back to center, and then moving knees to the left, gaze right. Back to center. Extend the legs, arms by your side. And when you're ready, lowering down. And then find a comfortable place to be for Shavasana. keep that peaceful, steady breath. So when we approach things in our life from a place of compassion and a place of gentleness, this is by no means weakness, right? Don't confuse this for being weak. Um, you may not confuse that, but others may confuse that, right? They may perceive your lack of aggressive behavior as being weak. Um, it is anything but, right? Weakness is taking your anger out on others. Weakness is um, prejudging a situation rather than waiting to see what happens, right? It's not just weak, it's lazy, right? It's not even taking the time to see what's actually happening. We don't want that. We want to use our eyes and our ears and our senses to see what is truly happening in every situation, to go at every situation, every problem, every conflict, every opportunity with an open heart and an open mind. Prejudging never works out, right? See what's really happening. And we can't do that if we don't approach things in a peaceful way. Um, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort, but the payoff is huge, not just for getting your objectives completed, but in being an example for other people, um, in putting out that kind of energy into the world that you would like to have returned to you, and for personal growth. When we can keep our temper, when we can not lose our cool, um, and still get what we want to get done, is a big win. And if you can do that, if you have done that, pat yourself on the back. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes to other people. It's an achievement. Being able to keep your keep all those like stuff, keep that under control, and not let that bleed out into your interactions with other people is it's pretty good. It's a pretty good thing. Um, it's not something that a weak person would take on. It is the work of a lifetime, um, and and every day we try to improve. When you're ready, we're moving a bit. And then making your way up to a seat, we can bring hands together. Breath in and breath out. Thank you for taking time today for yoga and for sharing your class with me. I hope that you have a very good Friday. Namaste. Okay. Meditation, 5 minutes. We can do it. My eyes are so crunchy. I don't know. All this being outdoors in the pollen is not, I'm not loving it. All right. So you're sitting comfortably, however that is, could be in a chair even. Relaxed, breathing, keeping that peaceful state of mind, and breathe. Okay, we're done. Meditation, yoga. Um, Enjoy your Friday. I'll be back tomorrow, but then not Sunday. So if you aren't one of the people that come on Saturday, I've noticed more people do though. It used to be I would just get maybe one person, but I guess weekends are all around now. Yeah, so I'll be there. Enjoy your day. Get outside, enjoy the weather if you can, and I will see you tomorrow.